What's up, everybody? It's your favorite pointy-eared samurai's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at, it's not a test shot, it's, I don't know, they told me what it was. Production prototype. It's further along than a test shot, whatever that means. I don't speak that technical jargon, ladies and gents. I just review the toys and make some lulls. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, what we have here is a look at X-Transbots Cyclonus. I know that these have been making the rounds recently. I don't know if this is the same one other folks have had. I can't speak on that. I can only speak to what is here. What is interesting about this is the first test shot slash prototype-ish production whatever thing that we've looked at since Grassor. And Grassor was a learning experience for me because I treated Grassor like I would treat any figure, and people got very emotional. And if there's one thing I hate seeing is people lose control of their emotions. So let's set the parameters front and center, right on the money. I won't be doing final thoughts in the sense of recommending or not recommending. What I will be doing is some recommendations and concerns and things like that nature, where I'll be speaking more so loosely about the issues or no issues, let's hope, fingers crossed, that I have about the figure or not. And we'll take it from there. This is sent to me from my buddy Hung from 215 Toys, who doesn't ask for a shout out, doesn't want a shout out, but God bless it, I'm going to give it to him because I like that guy and he's a friend of mine. And it means a lot to me that he just sent me a Cyclonus figure. There's more to that story, but I don't have time to tell it right now. He's a big fan of Cyclonus figures. I know that for it to be very true. More a fan of Cyclonus figures than many people are. That's a fact. But what we have here today is this one, and let's talk about him. He comes with a slew of accessories. Some are good, some are bad, and we'll discuss that. We'll get the worst one right out of the way, which is this Galvatron. It's a cool sculpt. It's a cool idea. I totally dig where they're coming from with this. Tons of sculpted detail in there for this being a figure that size. The problem is it tries to do a bit too much in my opinion. So now, once again, I'm only gonna, I'm just speaking as I can. Don't want anybody to get emotional. But it is articulated. I don't know if the head moves. Let's see. Negative. The head is all sculpted and such. The arms are on little swivels, so you can get those all the way around, and hinged elbows on both sides. Waist swivel? Negatory. And then hips are on swivels and knees are on a hinge. Now, the problem is that like I have stress marks at my hip hinges and swivels, pegs and stuff like that, and then like this pin on the knee is coming out. I think that the smarter choice here, in my opinion, would have been to sculpt it sitting so you could drop him in the cockpit of Cyclonus and be done with it. I don't think anybody needs to have him standing. But that's just my opinion. Otherwise, it's done really well sculpt-wise, so that's cool. We have an alternate face that, for all intents and purposes, the only difference I can really spot is that the chin is not painted as it is here. Otherwise, it seems to be pretty identical. I have some issues with the face. We'll get to that later on. He comes with two guns, one for each of you. Just silver, this gray plastic, this turquoise blue paint applied to it. This does extend, and the paint is applied really well, and they do look fairly nice. We'll see if he can hold it. We got these individualized fingers. What's up, Drew? I know Drew's a fan of that. We'll tab that in. Holds it like a champ. Let's see what he can do with the other one, which is very similar in many respects. Same type of plastic and the same turquoise, bluish, whatever type of paint. Looks nice, decent sculpt. Let's see if he can hold it, ladies and gents, with his fingers open. I was doing the Rockstar bit. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Rock on. And pegs in just fine, I believe. Ooh. I think so. I think I had it willy-nilly at first. So we'll give him a pass for that. We'll take those guns out, and we'll talk about his sword. Silver paint on the blade. It looks really good. It's a really menacing sword. It's a different type of homage to the character, and I dig that. Yellow paint there on the little thing. Could have used a second coat. That's the problem with yellow paint. And we have the same type of tab-in system. We'll see if he can hold it well. Maybe we gotta go this way. We do. Holds it just fine. No fuss, no muss. So no issues there. He also comes with a display stand. And you can have this any which way you want it, this way or that way. Some people might try to tell you there's a right way and the wrong way, but the answer is that's not the truth, because you bought it and you're a grown man and you get to make your own decisions. So you can put it any which way you want. These will hold accessories. Let's see if they hold his. Not really. That kind of holds. It won't hold against the size of the weapon. This was originally made for his sharks. Those hold pretty well, so you can still get those in. This were made for his sharks, and they've kind of used them for Cyclonus now and Scourge, and then this is a little adapter piece. And lastly, we have his Target Master. I hope this guy comes with a lot more paint, especially on the face or chest. Anything to break this up. This looks really dead. It looks really soulless. I'm imagining that it must. I'm just guessing they didn't apply it here for the sense of review purposes. Don't really know. We'll talk about articulation. The head is on a swivel. Shoulders are on ball pegs. You can see them there inside the torso that come out to a hinge at the shoulder. So you get out to there, up to there, and the full swivel. No bicep swivel. You do get a double hinged elbow, getting you the full range. Same on the other side. No waist swivel, but you do get an ab crunch, just forward, not back. And then you do have T-jointed ball joints for hips, which gets you out to here, front and back to there, and a bit of a thigh swivel is built in. Knees are on ball joints as well, which also gets you a swivel at the knee if you need that sort of thing in your life. I certainly don't. And a 90-degree bend there, so no issues. Ankle tilt, up, down, and the slightest, ever so slightest rocker, but I think it will do. Transformation wise, you bend the ab crunch down, you flip the head, bringing this piece around, pull the barrel down, and let's see here. This actually is a good enough time. Well, we'll transform it and then we'll talk about that. Bring this down, that'll bring the handle down, bring this foot down, and this brings the other piece that the handle tabs into down. You can tab them together. They tab in here, there, and there, there. So at the handle and at the calf. Easy for me to say. There. And then fold it back on itself. This is where things get a little wonky. I just got to remember how to do it. I think like this. Shoot, sorry. I'm an idiot. I don't know why this ate me up. Bring this back. Bring this down. And then he holds the peg. I don't know why it was eating me up. So same on the other side. Almost did it again. That's why. Bring the shoulder around. Bring this up. Bring this down. And then he holds the peg. This is my third Target Master I've looked at from X-Transbots. This is, I don't know. Target Masters are hard. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. And then this extends. Oh, you can grab it here. There. Tight little tolerance, but it's fine. And then he can go in the hand as well. And now he's holding that, and he holds it just fine. One thing I want to talk about while I'm getting this guy ready to set up is that, so the reason why I try to give Hung a lot of love from 215 is because he takes a chance on me when a lot of people won't. And I make mistakes, like the Grassor transformation, which wasn't in the instructions, I might add. But he takes a chance on me. But this time, he like, I can't help but think maybe he was a little nervous. He emailed me the instructions, and he sent them in a private message to me, the instructions. So I gave him a call. Hey, Hung, it's Bobby. Yeah. Yep, I got your text message, got your private message, got your email. Yep, got all the different sets of instructions. Yep, got the messages to go along with them that say make sure to read the instructions. Got all that. Let's see, there was something I was going to tell you, though. Oh, yeah. I'm totes my goats, not going to be reading those, bro.
Hey, Bob. Hey, you got to read those instructions, bro. Where'd you go? Where'd you go, Bob? Hello?
Truthfully, what happened was I just wrote him back and said, you know I'm not going to use these things right. And he said, why start now? And had a lulls. So, let's talk about this figure. The head. I have issues. I'm going to talk about it. But articulation-wise, I have no issues. You can adjust these a bit if you like a more streamlined ears or if you like a more spread apart. You do have a little bit of option there. That's totally up to you. It is on a swiveled hinge, so that is my preferred way for masterpieces. I just feel like the range for up and down is greater with the swiveled hinge than any other method, so I prefer it. And as you can see, the articulation is great. Black paint on the chin. We got purple paint on the ears. This whole thing has a bit of a glossy finish. I I'm guessing that one side of the plastic has this glossy finish and one doesn't, because it doesn't look like paint to me. It would have looked nice, but it does look like a nice finish. It is a nice finish. So I'm going to give them credit for that. The face needs paint. It does seem soulless. It has red light piping in the back. It just, there's something about the face that seems like there's no life in it. I can't describe what it is, but in person, I think between the light piping, which should have been paint, and the face, which should have also been painted, there's just something that is amiss in terms of how it registers with you. That is my opinion. If they are still in a production phase, I would urge them to strongly paint this face. I think it would make it come to life. That's just my opinion, though. Moving down. Red, I'm guessing paint. I can't really tell. And then this orangish paint in here. And then we do have a waist swivel. It's basically on a ratchet, and it clicks one way this way, one way that way, and that's it. That, to me, is fine. Some people like more aggressive waist swivels. To me, anatomically, we don't really get much of a waist swivel. So I'm okay with this range. It doesn't bother me. For the shoulders, we have a... I don't know. It feels like it was once a soft ratchet. It's basically a swivel here, and then it's a ratcheted hinge here, and this piece slides, which is interesting. So watch here. I don't know if I've seen that before, and I think it's insanely smart. The hinge is on a slider, which allows you to get that little bit of extra range of articulation. I like that an awful lot. I applaud them for that. I think it's a smart move, and I think the range is incredible. I think that's a different piece of plastic in there. We got a little bit of paint on the wings here. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, but the first joint only gets you a... Actually, let me make sure I'm not lying to you about that. It only gets you about maybe, I don't know, 20 degrees maybe less. It's right there, and the second joint is there. Either way, it gets you a decent range on the elbow, so I'm okay with it. Then we come down to, you do have to be weird. These elbows are a little wonky. You have to make sure you're adjusting it right. I think that must be a different piece of plastic. That's a different piece of plastic. Hands, we have a swivel at the wrist, and then we have the infamous KFC individually articulated fingers that are on ball pegs, which I am just not crazy about. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I don't think these are the worst ones I've ever seen. They are at different lengths, so I like that. It's just the ball peg at the knuckle that really bothers me. It ends up feeling a little bit more flimsy than I would like, but you can get plenty of range. We got a ball peg at the bottom and then 1-2 hinges. For the thumb, a ball peg attached to a hinge for the base knuckle, and then an additional hinge. So plenty of range of motion to boot, but they are little itty bitty ball pegs. Be mindful. Hip skirts, they rotate up to get you the universals, which are ratcheted. Now, these universals are the darker color purple. I think that was a smart move. I think it blends in better with the bot. Range-wise, this ratchet is not the best. You hear that? It's more of the friction of the joint than it is the plastic, but it does hold well. Out to here, that ratchet is money. So that works well. The front and back, not so much. I would advise them to adjust that accordingly. Thigh swivel works fine. Knees, single hinged, gets you 90 degrees, so that's fine. For the calves, once again, we had this sort of glossy plastic. There's a lot of weight down here, so it doesn't take much for the knee to fail. So that, once again, should be accounted for with the final production. That is my recommendation to them. Same on this side. I'm not lying to you, folks. In spite of how much you may want this to be perfect, I'm not lying to you. Purple paint on the knees, and it looks great. I'd like to see more of that paint elsewhere. For the ankles, we have a ankle tilt down and ankle... I'm not going to give them the tilt up. It's just not there. A toe tilt here, and then the rocker is on a hinge here. These tolerances here are something else that I hope that they are accounting for. I have been told that they are aware of this, and there is something with the shoulders they are aware of. But I don't really have any complaints about the shoulders per se, except for maybe, nope, I think maybe this piece here. So this piece is supposed to attach to the shoulder and kind of close it in position, but it doesn't seem to fit properly. It's the same on this side. You see? Because that feels like it's die cast. So the die cast tolerance doesn't fit that opening. That's just a recommendation that I suggest they account for. And other than that, let's talk about the back of the figure. I think it cleans up really well. I think it looks great. Side of the figure looks good. This is a little strange, but it's kind of a necessity, kind of a cost of doing business. Size comparison wise there, the two of them are together, admittedly looking good. They do look good next to one another. I don't know why I feel like Cyclonus looks extra big next to him, but they look good next to one another. Let's do some transforming. So we're going to bring this out and around. And we want that to tab into this. We can ball up the fist, but we're going to fight with them later on. Take my word for it. Close this up here. Close that up there. Same for the other side. Bring this around. Close this up here. Close that up there. Lock that into position. And then these bits here flip around to kind of finish off the wing. Make sure your fists are balled up. But it won't much matter. You're going to fight with them, more than likely. Later on, take my word for it. All right. This backpack comes out. This piece comes out. You gotta kind of clear it. Oh, I'm sorry. There's one. These they've already come basically undone, so it's fine. All right, come on, girl. There you go. Turn the head 180 and close the ears up. Open these pieces here and bring down the nose, and then close this around it. Leave these open so that you can come up over the head and encapsulate it while tabbing it back in position. Easy for me to say. And then we'll close that down for now. And also, as a little added bonus, you can go ahead and pull that out a taste. And now the leg. These are on the side panels. Open this, and then open. That didn't sound good, did it? A little piece fell off there. Not sure what that's about. Open all this up. Bring this around. Bring this piece down. You see this whole assembly here. You want to fold. I forget which way it is. We'll deal with it in a minute. This piece, on the other hand, this is where this thing falls apart for me. So the knee is actually pegged into the kneecap. If you unpeg it and bring this up, it will allow you the clearance to get it in front of the knee there. And then this piece, I know this piece, why can't I get this to hinge right? This piece here comes down in there. I don't remember exactly how this has to go though. Let's do it like that. Yeah, and then that sits flat. I think that's how it is. So that this comes down. And then when this comes down, I guess we should probably deal with that later. Let's deal with the other leg first. So, once again, untab here. And then we want to bring out this whole piece. There it is. It's hard for me to realize where the gap is, so to speak. Bring this out. Bring this piece out. You can untab that and get that out of your way. It's just hard to explain because it's just so many little moving pieces. Untab this. And I feel like there is a better way to do this. There. You can fold this up and that will give you the room to get it around, and then you can unfold it. So that's definitely on me there. Alright. And then this, you just want to bring around and fold in on itself and lay it down. And I think that's how you got to have it. And we'll stop there. And here's the part that sucks. So with this all lined up the best you can, keep, in my opinion, you can do whatever you want. You bought it. Keep this shoulder up. Collapse the leg. We're going to close this, and as we get this into a somewhat inline position, because this part does suck, make no mistake, we're going to then slide the hand down to kind of, hopefully, that didn't work quite right, put it in the best position to then get the hand inside the back of the jet. And then it's just a matter of plugging everything in the best you can. And I've also found that a prayer comes in handy. This piece here is, just fold that out, and that will tab into here. And then if I were you, I would go ahead and collapse this cockpit. Before you do so, there's a little seat in there. You can pull the seat up just for aesthetics. And then I would try to start collapsing the cockpit. And the reason why is because this latch here is a notched latch. So you kind of want it to be underneath these back panel pieces. And that is kind of it. It's actually better, I think, than I was able to get it the first time. Alright. We're going to try the same thing again. So we got the fists all balled up. We got the shoulder up as far as we can. We're going to collapse this piece the best we can to get it into a position where it makes sense to lower the fist, and we missed the mark. So we're going to try again. We're praying, likes and prayers. Or likes and shares, rather. There's a thumb issue. Let's try to tuck that bad boy in. Alright. Making progress. We're going to... That happened to the other one as well. These pieces latch. This is... X-Transbots Achilles heel. Is transformations that are remotely fun in any sense of the word. Let's see if we... There. Alright, we're getting there. My thumb is out of position. We'll tab this in to the back. We'll tab that in. Thumb is in. Cockpit is in. This bit of business I can never quite get right up at the top. There's a series of interlocking teeth underneath that I just can't get to line up quite right. Don't know why. Can't see any rhyme or reason for it. I'll get it cleaned up the best I can, but that's basically it, and we'll take a look. So there it is on the stand. It is menacing. It looks great, except that not everything is still not 100% tabbed in because I just can't get it 100% lined up. I love the paint on the back here, the silver paint on the engines, and the orange paint here that's on the die cast. I love a lot of the accents here. I love the red tinted window. It does open up. Let's see if we can put Galvatron in. We can. No problem. So that's good. I love the needle nose here at the end of the bit. This is where it plugs in, right there and there. Look, it's not bad. It's a good looking, you know, little space fighter. It's just not fun to get it here, which I think most of us who have experience with X-Transbots have kind of come to accept, or at least, if not accept, expect. It's huge. So there's that. And the purple on the die-cast doesn't match the purple here. And it doesn't really match the purple there, although I don't know if it needs to there. But I thought it was worth noting. But not hateful, just not fun to get it here. And I don't even have it 100%. As you can see, this isn't tabbed in quite right down here. And these interlocking teeth, they just won't go for me. I can tab them in down here at the bottom, and then they come out at the top. It's just, it's not fun. And then this thing came out, no clue where that goes, but it came out at some point during this process. Ultimately, it doesn't look like I needed it, but I'm sure it serves some sort of purpose. But yeah, not hateful, pretty good. Final thoughts wise, I'm going to mention some things they should probably consider. Stronger joints at the hips and knees would be highly recommended. More pain application would be recommended. That's probably always recommended with me, but especially the face. The face needs something, I feel like. The positives for this guy, at least at first look, the sculpt is great. The silhouette is great. Like, the overall aesthetic looks very G1. It looks on board. It has that Cyclonus look to it, definitely. The things that I don't like about it, and I don't think that they're going to be able to change, are, once again, the transformation. I hate it. I hate it. And I want to love it because it looks great in both modes. Absolutely great. But it's just not fun to get it there. And it's like, it's a pain. It took longer for me to transform back into robot mode than it did to transform him into jet mode. It was hard to get the things unplugged. These pieces aren't die cast. I don't know what's going on there, but something's not right there either. This is a pretty expensive figure, and there's a lot of good about this figure. I think if you were to buy this figure, take it out of the box, put it on the shelf, and walk away, I think you'd be 100% satisfied. I think if you were going to buy this figure, transform it a few times, do all that kind of stuff, I don't know. If you're looking for a definitive Cyclonus, I don't know if this is it either. I don't know if it's worth waiting at this point. But the materials are good. The upper joints are good. The lower joints could be better at the hips, knees, and feet, at the ankle. Please fix those feet. I'm sure you will, but please fix those feet. Hips and knees should be reworked as well, in my opinion. Just a stronger ratchet. I don't know if this is a definitive Cyclonus, even though it has an awful lot going for it. I think that X-Transbots need to apply the same philosophy that they do to their sculpts, which are knockout sculpts. X-Transbots knocks the sculpts out of the park. Anybody that denies that is out of their mind. But I think the same philosophy that they apply to their sculpts, they need to start applying to their engineering. Less is more. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Till next time, take care.